Khaliqur Rahman of the TRS is also joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Khaliqur Rahman, a lot of questions being asked of the administration. Why T. Raja Singh hasn't been arrested yet, and that's really prompted the kind of protests we're seeing right now in Hyderabad.
In fact, this matter was brought up to the notice of the administration to the police. Police is swung into action. Police is, going to arrest him any moment. And the case has already been booked against him. And Mr. Raja Singh is, in fact, the habitual offender. He has been, it is not the first time. But, on every occasion, he comes out and, says something which hurts the religious sentiments of the other religion. And BJP, I feel that has given him a long rope, and especially because the elections are going to happen in Telangana. So this is all being done keeping that in view, because they want to disrupt the peace, the communal harmony of Hyderabad and Telangana. But we will never allow that to happen.
The problem is that we've seen as a result Sartan Se Juda, open calls for violence, beheading threats being made on the streets by these protesters, and that's equally condemnable. What's being done by the administration on that front to stop this kind of violence? Because we've seen this happen already months ago in Rajasthan.
No, absolutely. Because see, what happened is, because recently we have seen what has happened in the country after Nupur Sharma's comments. The BJP is trying to, have the complete rerun of that in Hyderabad, but we will not, allow that to happen. And the people who are making that kind of slogans will also not be spared, because, action will be taken against them. We have absolutely no place in our country for such kind of slogans. And whether they belong to any community, whether they belong to any, sect, but we will not tolerate that kind of un-Islamic slogans, I would say.
What's also concerning, Mr. Khaliqur Rahman, is that at such a sensitive time, these kind of slogans are also being raised by politicians. And AIMIM corporator was also seen very publicly making these comments with cops right next to him. And that's why there are questions about whether the administration will actually act against them or not.
Definitely, the administration will definitely, take note of that, and will take the appropriate action as per the law.
All right, Mr. Khaliqur Rahman of the TRS speaking to us here on India Today, assuring that there will be action against Raja Singh, BJP MLA, for the comments he's made and the fallout. The fact that you're seeing protesters now resorting to these kind of chants of Sartan Se Juda, that's ringing in the city of Hyderabad. Let's in fact get you all of those images that have emerged right now from Hyderabad of the kind of sloganeering, the protesters raising these kind of provocative slogans on the streets of Hyderabad late last night, and in fact this morning too, where an AIMIM corporator was seen chanting Sartan Se Juda as there was a cop next to him. This was in the presence of an SHO. He had gone to file a complaint at the police station, and despite these comments being made in front of cops, nothing was done. You see those images on your screens. Mr. Khaliqur Rahman, this is the concern, that yes, there'll be action against T. Raja Singh, rightly so, but there should also be action against those who try to instigate on the ground. There's a cop right there who did nothing when these slogans were raised.
Absolutely. As I told you, the administration, the police is going to take the stern action against Raja Singh, and also, the police will also take note of, those slogans which were shouted actually, and the appropriate action will be taken against them as per the law.
Rahman, the reason I'm highlighting this over and over again is because of on our screens right now is that video where a cop is standing right next to the AIMIM corporator, sir, and there's no attempt to stop him.
See, because when there is a huge mob, what one single cop can do, you have to understand that.
These are a handful of people, Mr. Khaliqur Rahman, who are with the AIMIM corporator. They surely could have stopped them from chanting this. The problem is that very often, yes, there needs to be action against T. Raja Singh. We're at no point saying that what he said is okay. That's very much condemnable. The fallout also is not something we're looking at right now.
But what is more worrisome and concerning here is there is no reaction from the BJP leadership. The BJP leadership had already issued the guidelines to their representatives, to the cadre after Nupur Sharma's incident and the case. But, it seems to have been falling on the deaf ears of the cadre. Or it is just that the BJP, says this just for the heck of tokenism. They just want to show it to the people that okay, because we don't encourage these kind of statements from our cadre. But what is happening on ground in reality is totally different and in contradiction to what the BJP top leadership has said. And there was the first time in the history of our country that the other countries has to point a finger at us, which was most shameful part actually. So now I think I'm sure that the BJP will keep their cadre, keep their public representatives well within the protocol, and as you said, the people who are shouting those kind of slogans, we have absolutely no place for that kind of un-Islamic slogans, because Islam has not allowed anyone to take the life of anyone's in their hands actually. So this is totally wrong. And this, in fact, we don't encourage, and we will definitely take this stern action against Raja Singh, definitely, and also against, the people, if, they are indulged in that kind of slogan.
Okay, Mr. Khalikur Rahman of the TRS joining us on this broadcast. Thank you very much, sir, for getting us a sense of how serious the administration really is of cracking the whip. The TRS saying no one will be spared, whether it's Raja Singh who made those comments against Prophet Muhammad or those who are chanting Sat Tan Se Juda right now on the streets of Hyderabad.